series layout, Gaskin, to ask you back to back once again. Anything you can pick up here in terms of either or for each of the team in terms of preference?
Strongholds Streets was won by Optic quite recently. 250 to 110 they were able to win, if I'm remembering correctly. So that was definitely a nice start for Optic, considering the fact that Cloud9 have usually been quite good at Streets and very comfortable whatever game mode. Optic really showed up in that series. They won 3-0 in the series as well, so maybe that was a factor in that grand final. But I will say that that is maybe the best start for Optic that they could have asked for, because that not only is a game type they've beaten Cloud9 very comfortably on before, but it also is going to be a nice fast-paced game type that they can really show what they're made of.
Yeah, it is indeed. Something I have noticed with Cloud9 in particular on set is that they are really good at breaking hills. They're really good at breaking hills. They're always so aggressive, but it's almost like clinical, and they're always able to push in and get their own way. Why is that? I've also been told the game is ready, so I am going to throw it on over to you boys as well while you answer the question. But Cloud9, they always seem to get their own way.
Yeah, they certainly do. Breaking hills is one of the most difficult things to do in Halo, especially when a team's set up, Andy. You'll know this as well as anyone. It's all about just getting that initial damage down, right? All about being the hardest possible kill you can if you're the furthest player up. And almost baiting a player out to give you a kill so that you can open up one of those lanes to push from.
Yeah, that's really all it comes down to. I think we're going to see time and time again with these two heavy hitters going at each other. That will be the key to the difference. But, I mean, this is, once again, the match that we came for, right? Optic Gaming, Cloud9. I can't wait to get into this.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this one. I think the first series was a little bit of a teaser for what we're going to see. I do worry that C9 may be running out of a little bit of steam, and we'll have to see how much that SSG series actually took out of them. But Optic, I think this one's there for them again. To go back to back, I think will be a huge achievement for them. And I think this is a great opportunity, especially with that series layout. I think it really does favor Optic in those early games.
I agree. And to be honest, I think as the last NA Pro Series, if Cloud9 wins this, Optic Gaming's success during the month of June is pretty easily forgotten by the time we get to the NA Super as well as Orlando. However, if Optic back-to-backs here, going to be a little bit of a different expectation going into the month of July and the month of August.
It certainly will indeed. Well, this is what we've all waited for. It's the opportunity to call someone a winner, someone a champion, and it's going to be Strongholds to start us off here on Streets. One game type that both teams certainly know how to play at this point in Halo Infinite. Optic seem to have the advantage the last time these two teams matched up. Let's see if C9 can answer back.
Yeah, fantastic game type to start off this series. We love seeing two of the best teams in the world play this game type against one another. It's going to be so tightly contested and really come down, just as you said, into opening damage and things like that will be the difference maker between these two. BC early hold here for Cloud9.
Yeah, Trippy, some Trippy looking whiffy there with those shotgun shots, not quite connecting. The Bulldog, more of a whimper than a bark in that particular circumstance, but BNC will be the hold early on here for Cloud9. So a little bit of early scoring for them. You can see the APG just trying to take his time, wait for a little bit of help to come in as Optic pick up a couple of kills. StelluR going to be caught off guard here, and a couple more BRs going to locate themselves on. What a strong push that was from Optic. They will be able to flip B here.
Certainly, if you're just joining us here, you might have been a little bit surprised to see Space Station this late in the bracket. Furthest run they had, they will exit in third place, but something that's not a surprise is these two titans, Optic Gaming and Cloud9, up against one another in your grand finals. Just last week, we saw Optic take down Cloud9 for the first time ever in a grand final in HCS play. The question is, can they repeat?
Optic have had a really strong start to this game. They had a momentary triple cap there, but Cloud9 managed to get control of C pretty quickly without losing too many numbers. But Bound and Stellar have also given them a numbers advantage, and APG, who was just a second ago looking like he was going to be forwarding a push for his team, finds himself as last alive. Cloud9 get all the kills they need to, even with APG's heroic cross-map nade. And now it will be Formal, who's trying to once again be the furthest player forward to damage C9 so they can make a play on B.
Oh man, eats a nade and a stalker rifle shots. I think there was even a BR involved there as well. That's going to make it tough to push out of caution and PD for them. Eco trying to make something happen, but StelluR last player alive for C9.
Yeah, it's a 1v1 on the map at the moment. Lucid's going to be flipping C here. Spawns will come in over at A and PD. I think actually PD's going to be the spawn, so Bound should just about be able to cap A, which will keep Cloud9 scoring. But 46-29, what a grenade and a finish that is from Pznguin, by the way. Being a little bit sneaky in the cloakroom up in Red Room, and it's going to be Cloud9 who find themselves 2 dead. Optic the same, though, so a little bit of a stalemate mid-map as APG gets rockets, but Eco will make sure that he doesn't die and pick up one himself.
Wow, trades out with Lucid in the end as well. Great place from Eco. One tiny thing to notice there, even those little shots from Lucid and bottom tram off of the planter into top A as bound as capping allows someone like Formal to push in and nade top A to get the kill. So all those little difference makers across the map where you're getting damage, they can really add up.
APG has been tasked with just trying to get this A stronghold converted. His teammates are doing a great job of making his life much easier, though, as 3 players from Cloud9 will fall. B has been a constant kind of battleground for both of these teams at the moment. Bound being as difficult as kill as he possibly can. Unfortunately, he's got 4 Optic members to deal with. So Eco trying to push up the driveway should be dealt with as well. And Optic starting to just put together a little bit of a push here, picking off these C9 members one by one and maybe thinking about a triple cap.
What a run there from APG. StelluR with a perfectly placed spiker. Keep in mind, that grenade doesn't even need to be perfectly placed, but that thing was going to do 100% damage. That will eventually end APG's run, but it's a great wrap from APG. He goes from A all the way pre-nades music to take down Bound. They control B, and they will continue scoring here on BC.
The game getting a little bit closer, and this is how we expect the series to go full stop. It will be back and forth for the entirety. TriPPPeY with the Stalker rifle. Doesn't quite get the 3. Lucid's going to be there to pick up the pieces, though, to convert into kills. Cloud9 starting to leak a couple of kills here, Andy. And it seems like Optic are getting the better of them at the moment in the slays, and it's starting to reflect in the scorers. Now it looks like we're almost at a tie game.
Look at TriPPPeY, not afraid to be the aggressor. Great stuff. Gets a little bit of damage, flies right into B, starts to lay down the pings on driveway as well. And look at this, stays alive. Great damage again on tires. This is a great run from TriPPPeY, and a lot of the damage that he's done is what's paved the way for the trip cap.
Yeah, but even with this damage being done, the trip cap's there, but all players just fall. That's going to be Optic now on the back foot, and it will be an easy conversion of not just B, but C as well. Eco, the timing is perfect for him to pick up an uncontested power weapon. Formal's going to be to his right, but he's also going to have some players to his left. He times it perfectly. He comes behind 2, and that's 1 rocket. Double the money coming in for Kevin Smith. Eco with 2, and now C9 flip a triple cap, which was in Optic's favor, back into theirs. They have all 3 strongholds under their control.
And just patiently watches the L for Formal's exit there, and is going to go on a killing spree as well. Fantastic work. Even stays alive to get over to Laundry. Continues to do damage as well. It's going to take a teammate shooting him for him to finally take some damage.
It's going to be Eco still alive here and still with the support of his teammates. The lead has gone back into the hands of Cloud9, but only a couple of points in it at the moment. Reload that gun, Eco. Otherwise, you're going to get punched in the face by Formal. An unfortunate piece of timing there for Eco. But Formal takes advantage of it, and now Optic will flip A. And it looks like they're going to be trying to play for those ends. The C will also go into their hands. Respawns for Cloud9 over at B mean they can make sure it doesn't get out of hand, but it looks like Optic will be tying the game up and maybe taking a lead once more.
Still such a close game. Ooh, Formal gets a little bit overzealous there. He kind of extends all the way out on Balk, and Eco maybe predicted that. Eventually comes back from B pillars to get that kill. That's a big kill for Eco. He's going to stay alive and wrap all the way around to back A.
Yeah, been a bit sloppy so far this game between the 2 teams, to be honest with you. A couple of shots missed here and there, a couple of misplays, reloads, and just little things you don't expect to see. Maybe there is a little bit of fatigue in both these teams, or maybe it's just a case of both of them kind of just feeling each other out once more and trying to find that pattern of play. For now, Pznguin will escape. But 115 and rising here for C9. Eco's last player alive manages to pick up 1 as well, but Optic will deal with him, and that will be all dead and rockets in the hands of Lucid.
Yeah, great damage from Formal there to make sure those 2 kills went in. Little rocket to the roof from Lucid, killing spree. He'll pick up a double as well and stay alive in tires, but actually gets impeded by the tires for just a split second. Eventually, he will fall.
Yeah, a little bit of a circus work there for Lucid. Maybe he just flip that one on its side and run up the arcade street with it, but as you say, just kind of got his feet trapped in that one for now. TriPPPeY with 2 and Lucid with another, though, are going to reduce Cloud9 once again to just 1 player alive on the map. And even though C9 is still scoring, TriPPPeY is dealing with that last player alive. So Optic will be able to flip A and B at the same time due to the kills all falling in their favor. And that's a triple cap now for Optic.
Let's see how they play this now. They're going to maybe get this kill. No, they do not. So it'll be 1 dead. Pznguin is the first pick as well. 3 alive for each side. So these next kills are going to be a huge difference maker in who goes ahead. Tie game at 134.
I mean, I got to give a lot of credit here to StelluR. Even though TriPPPeY's moving in with that Bulldog and will be able to flip C back, StelluR was in a horrible position for the majority of that time. You saw him trying to be hunted down by Optic, but he bought about 5, 6, 7 seconds. And by the time the players are kind of overextended to try and finish that kill, a lot of help was coming in for Cloud9. They managed to get some kills, and Optic had to work a little bit harder, maybe than they would have wanted to. But now you're going to see TriPPPeY moving in alongside Formal, doing big damage with this Bulldog. And now this thing is starting to bark, and Optic are starting to bite a little bit more. A will be flipped. That will be them scoring once more.
Great push, great rotate coming in there from TriPPPeY. They had all the help. Baum was the last player alive in back A. All it takes is a one tap of the Bulldog and a team shot to take him down. They get an extra kill. They force those split spawns. They're going to get C back as well. Great timing on the Slay rotation. Still 2 dead for Cloud9. And Optic starting to run away with this.
Yeah, TriPPPeY just being tempted by the fresh apple pie that was left on the windowsill there on tires, and Eco popped up to say, "That's mine, my friend, and I'm feeling hungry right now," as he takes him down, as APG now moves to the back of A. Pznguin should be taken down, as some damage has already been done, but Optic have been scoring for quite some time now. APG with the Stalker rifle is going to be able to do a lot of cross-map damage as well, but Optic have crossed the 200-point mark now, and with Eco and these rockets in his hands, he needs to make a play here on B, but Formal has just picked up yet another kill, but Eco threads the needle to take him down.
Threads the needle is right. What a rocket, what a thrust there. Stays alive as well, and even rockets the L. That's going to be 2 dead. Bomber metal in hand. Excuse me, 3 dead momentarily. APG was last player alive. Formal is a spawner. Eco will get another kill. He's 20 and 17 so far, and what looked like it was going to be a runaway victory for Optic has been halted. The game is still within 60.
It's a perfect example of what you talk about a lot, Andy. It's one thing to get the power weapon, but here on Streets, the 2 rockets, it's quite easy to get baited out by a player with a thrust or a drop wall and not turn them into kills. Eco, under pressure, turned it into 2 kills, and then he managed to convert a 3rd off the back of that, and that has given Cloud9 the opening to be scoring once more. But here comes Lucid flying in with TriPPPeY here, and the Pznguin's going to be evaporated by that frag grenade, and now he's got a flank on Eco. All of a sudden, Lucid's starting to find a little bit of space on the map, and he's hunting down C9 players.
We talk about when Lucid pops off, Optic wins games and Optic wins tournaments. Right now, he's 25 and 13 and not done yet. What a run he's had in game number 1.
Optic with a triple cap as well. He is just about going to be flipped, but Formal again with those cross-map shots. Not only picks up 1, but picks up 2, and now Optic are just 20 points away from taking your game number 1.
Eco versus Formal there. Fantastic battle. Bulldog versus Stalker. Eco will win that one. Not over yet on the C flip here, so even though only 16 points away for Optic, Cloud9 wants to put up all the fight that they can to rally back in this game.
There's one statistical outlier in this game, and it's Pznguin. He's 8 and 19 at the moment. He is having a little bit of a rough one in our grand final here for Cloud9. But Cloud9's still in this. If he can pick it up just in the last few moments of this game, then C9 will have an opportunity. But Formal shuts things down with a rocket launcher. 2 for him, 2 for Lucid, and that is going to be the game you would imagine if Optic can get control of B and C.
Oh my God, 4 dead as well. Look at Formal even shooting that past StelluR on B pillars to stay alive through that, then converts again. Trip cap at this point, that'll be the game.
Yeah, put a bow on it. This one's done. 250 is done. It's on the board as Optic Gaming take down Cloud9 in game number 1. And they were looking just as good as the last time we saw them in a series, Andy. Optic have not missed a beat here.
Not gonna lie, they look spicy. They're still firing on all cylinders. This entire squad looking so good, and it's a fantastic late game run. The way that they slayed out at the end of that first game shows me once again they're on the same page.
They certainly are. They are looking strong, Optic, here, and one thing that is always a standout for me is how Optic play on the back foot. It's almost as if they don't feel like they're on the back foot when they go down numbers at the moment. They always get a pick, whether it's Formal, whether it's TriPPPeY, whether it's APG, whoever it might be. It just creates the opening for Lucid to then move around the map with the freedom that he needs to have. But like I mentioned, one player who just had a little bit of a slow start there was Pznguin, 8 and 21 at the end of that game.
Yeah, not what you're used to seeing from Pznguin whatsoever. He'll look to bounce back in this next one. But once again, Lucid, 27, 14, and 6. Formal, 27, 16, and 15. Amazing numbers from those 2.
Look at the assists for Optic, right? 15, 6, 13, 15. Compare that to Cloud9. I think that tells the story big time for how well they were working together. They are some ridiculous stats.
Yeah, damage to tell a similar story, if we're honest here, with Formal just shy of 7K damage. And 5K plus for every single other player on Optic as well. It's a similar story to the assist story, which is what you'd expect to see.
Yeah, Formal, I think whenever you get that Stalker rifle in his hand, he just seems to be able to deal more damage than most. It's almost as if he was born to use that weapon, right? He just, for whatever reason, it just feels comfortable in his hands, and he certainly makes it work. TriPPPeY was doing some good damage with it as well, but there's just moments in this game where you thought, oh, Cloud9, this is what we used to seeing them. They get a little bit of control, they get a 4 dead, and they start to run away with things. But Optic never really found themselves under any kind of immense pressure for too long. I think there was a momentary triple cap for Cloud9, but it didn't really ever feel like they were in that triple cap for too long a time that it became dangerous.
It's true. We were tied here at Cloud9 with a decent lead at 1 point. We were also tied at 135, but after that, it was actually, I believe, 211 to 135 off of a fantastic trip cap run that came in from Optic, and things once again were pretty close all game, but it felt like Optic was able to convert and collapse on all the kills that they needed to.
Yeah, they certainly did, and it was pretty ruthless by the end of it. That final triple cap was enough for them to close out game at number 1, but Eco did all he could in that game. He had a very strong performance, as he always does. It's very rare that you'll say Eco did not perform here for Cloud9, but there was this double kill just towards the end with that rocket launcher that really secured things for Formal. I think that was a little celebration melee, as we all know. He probably thought, I've done my job here. The game is done. I've picked up the kills. We're converting strongholds. And that'll be us 1 up in the series.
It's a lost art, the celebratory melee, you know? When you think back to Halo 2, Halo 3 montages of old, the celebratory melee when the stick explodes. Only the real ones understand it. Game number 2 coming up. StelluR on live fire, an opportunity for Cloud9 to even the score, or maybe Optic to go only 1 away from closing out the series.
I think Cloud9 need this one because I know they do not like CTF Bazaars. Quite simply, they do not like playing it. They do not want to, grind out those games. I don't think that against Optic that are going to be those 1 flag 15-minute games, whatever it might be. So I think if they want to elongate this series here, Cloud9, this is a must-win for them, Andy.
Absolutely. I think there's going to be a very familiar territory for them. Let's not forget Cloud9 with what I would describe as not the most impressive live fire StelluR earlier on against SSG, to be honest. KotH missing a few shots. It could have turned the tide of the game, and that could have been a very different series for them. We'll have to see if Cloud9 looks stronger in our grand final.
We'll also have to see if the long battle for Overshield continues, because the amount of bodies that are going to have to be buried over there at the Overshield of Spartans that have been dying as they try and pick up that Overshield it's getting out of hand, to be honest with you. You're going to have to bring Dan on to TriCast just to make sure that he can add up the bodies that are going down.
It's like my grandpa always said, when the Ovies poppin', bodies be dropping. And that's exactly what I think we're going to see here. Game number 2 underway.
Yeah, Grandad Dudinsky never missed a beat with his raps. That man, I'm telling you, you can find the vinyls. It's worth a listen, but let's listen to what the BR of Formal is singing at the start of this game. Good damage onto C-Plab. It's going to be StelluR, Bound, and Eco who take down 3 members of Optic. Lucid, last man standing.
What's he going to do here? Just going to rat out and rat tunnel for just a second. Of course, isolate the 1v1s. It's a great opportunity to do so. Heatwave's not going to do the trick. So stays alive long enough, though, to make sure that they don't go 4 dead. Stays alive back green, and they're going to have a chance to maybe fight for some new angles. Yeah, StelluR really wants to know where he is. Look at this.
Yeah. I think the rest of Cloud9 want to know where he is. It's like we were just shooting him like he was keyed.
Oh, there it is.
Now we're just gonna. I found him. StelluR's going. I found him. Hide and seek is over. However, APG comes and bonks him on the head to put him into the death screen. And even though it's a 5-2 lead here for Cloud9, Eco has the opportunity to extend that with a couple of nice headshots with this sniper.
Yeah, nice job there from Lucid to rat out. If that goes 4-0 instead much earlier, it's a very different result. Instead, the game is still within 3 here. Make that 4 as Eco's going to stay alive top mid. Head on a swivel. And nice job there to connect on top middle there against APG, and that'll bring the lead to 8-3.
Yeah, not many people would have thought, wait, we're missing someone here. I'm just going to check my back for a few seconds. Eco is that player. Now he hits another body shot onto TriPPPeY, immediately cleaned up here by Pznguin. 10-4, kind of lead you want to see if you're a Cloud9 fan. The Overshield isn't going to be up for a few moments, but another body shot, another body shot. I mean, if he hits a couple of heads here, this game's over, but it's just body shots, but they're being cleaned up immediately here by Cloud9.
Amazing stuff there from Eco to just sit top middle and command it, almost like lockout style. I think the last time we saw someone do that was Bonfire on exit wounds. He would sit top middle, S2 jump, and just wait for people to pop up and do exactly what you just saw, body them and then finish them on the perfect timing. All of that performance and fantastic control will give Cloud9 a 14-7 lead in game number 2.
Now we've seen some shots hit on this Overshield, and StelluR just gets distracted and takes a little bit of damage, which allows Formal to move in. The teamwork from Optic there, kind of underrated, you would imagine. Just that one player poking, prodding at Keydor, not allowing StelluR to get a clean shot means that this is the avenue back into this game now for Optic.
Ooh, look at the little angle from Formal. He's going to repulsor jump up, tried to catch Eco off if he could, but instead Eco's going to let his shields regain. Optic going to be happy to keep the game close. Keep in mind they were just finding themselves, their opponents doubling their score. So Formal going to fly back into Big Door and try to clean up this kill on Rat Tunnel, but it's a little bit of hide and seek. Eventually the Optic teamwork will bring the game within 4.
Yeah, that kind of play from Pznguin doesn't show up in the stats, right? But he's just completely melted an overshield. He's bought enough time for his team to get in the map. And even though it's a -1 for him, he's created so much for Cloud9 just by milking that overshield for that amount of time. TriPPPeY's heat wave hits like mine never will. I'm just going to say that right now. I don't think I've ever done that in my life.
That was Formal.
Halo Infinite.
Formal.
Formal? Excuse me, sorry.
Unbelievable stuff from Formal to win that in what was essentially a 1v2. As soon as he turned the corner on Dummy Door, he was going to get finished, but he just double taps there and finishes in a play that I would never be bold enough to make, but there's a reason the man is on Optic Gaming. Formal, one of the best to ever do it. 19-16 here in favor of Cloud9.
Pretty sure the Optic has got 2 sniper rifles here as well. You saw Formal with one for just a few seconds. That's been turned over into StelluR's hands. TriPPPeY has a couple of bullets left, just trying to find some angles. And this has been a very slow-paced game here of Live Fire Slayer. Usually we say this is a fast game type, and teams like to get aggressive, like to try and force the plays on each other and force the pressure. But at the moment, TriPPPeY may create the opportunity to push with that Hail Mary grenade across map.
It's the Hail Mary all the way to Antarctica on Pznguin will take him down. Still just a 3-kill game here, 22-19, but TriPPPeY trying to find out what angles he needs to isolate here to help the team the most.
I think TriPPPeY didn't realize those 2 C9 players just spawned at green. He's going to rotate instead towards tower, and at the moment TriPPPeY just can't find any targets. He's only got 2 bullets to work with. Maybe Bound will be a victim, but again just turns away at the most inopportune moment, and TriPPPeY just can't get a break at the moment. He cannot find an angle, and he cannot find anyone to fire onto.
Gonna stay alive and be thankful that that ledge is here. APG, overshield does pop, wants to make sure he doesn't get back whacked. Pushes on back tower into a 3-man C9 push. They were ready for it. They isolate TriPPPeY as well. The one more battle here. Formal is there to pick up the scraps. 1v1 against Eco, sniper in hand. Tries to hit one, will not. We'll see what he could do here.
Yeah, Eco, unfortunately, tries to nope out just as Lucid arrives. So Formal just buying time, just playing behind that pillar, and has 1 bullet to make a difference here for Optic Gaming. It's tied up at 25-25. A body shot onto StelluR might make things interesting, but that drop ball is going to be huge. Now they can command all of this lane without taking too much damage.
Let's not forget, this game was 14-7 in favor of Cloud9. It's quite a rally back from Optic Gaming.
That looks like the moves. They're going to be sneaky ones coming in from Lucid. He needs to be like a snake with a pair of slippers on here, make no sound whatsoever. Doesn't know the bounce behind that pillar. Now he does take some shots. He tries to challenge. Bound looks like he's on top of this one, but there's the help this time. It's Formal who keeps Lucid alive. It's almost like the tables turned from just a few seconds ago.
Great teamwork, and once again, what a rally from Optic Gaming, and they look like they were out early on in this game. Not the case. They bounce back. Lucid gets a good amount of damage on Key Door. We'll have to see if they can convert. A few of those do come in. 2 dead for both sides. Tied at 31.
31-31. 6 minutes and 20 left in this game, and the overshield coming up in around 15 seconds or so. So we'll have to see where the kills fall. And it's Eco who picks up the first. Formal will be back in the game and back on the map before that overshield does pop. So it's not the end of things here for one team or the other, but it might be the end of that overshield push now for Optic as Lucid finds himself last alive, tries to clean up Pznguin, but there's Bound chunking away with a heat wave.
Bound just trying to get a little bit of shots there. Going to be able to grab that overshield, and that is a clean wipe. 4 dead, 36-32 with the overshield in hand. If Bound plays this right, they can almost secure a victory at this stage in the game.
Don't think that Formal spotted him out there, but it looks like Optic are trying to wrap the other side of the map here. Now it'll be a flank coming in from Bound. He finds 1. He should find 2 onto Formal as well. 3 players fall for Optic, and now you're seeing the lead just start to open up a little bit here. StelluR, also with a sniper, has the chance to make that gap even bigger. Good
trade for Formal there on that overshield. Looks like he just did enough damage, but StelluR with the sniper up top and several shots yet to play with could be pretty disastrous for the side of Optic. It's a 6-kill game.
He just spotted out APG as well. You can see the pings are going to come in. Ooh, APG just raises an eyebrow and says to StelluR, hello, I know you're there, and now you know I'm here. But StelluR just watching bottom middle. Eco and TriPPPeY gonna trade kills out respectively for their teams. That's better for Cloud9 though, because they have that advantage now, Andy. They are looking strong. TriPPPeY challenging and will pick up the kill and the snipe.
TriPPPeY wastes no time. He knew as soon as StelluR missed that shot, that was his opportunity to hit the second BR shot and then the melee. He's going to steal the sniper away. And it's moments like this where I'm dying to hear the lunchbox comms, because what he's able to do with this squad to help them bounce back in live fire slayers has been amazing historically. Now it's just a 4-kill game.
Oh, TriPPPeY just picked up 2 as well. One of those with that sniper rifle. Bound gets taken down as well.
Triple for TriPPPeY.
And Optic are back in this game. TriPPPeY with the play. He gets 3. Cloud9 all 4 dead, and it's a 3-kill game now.
I think 2 of those 3, as you said, were with the sniper rifle as well. Eventually, the weapon will run out of ammo, but not before. It's a 3-kill game. Let's see what the drop shield could do. They will trade. 1-kill game here. Cloud9 up by 1.
Overshield coming up in a few moments as well. 5 seconds. Lucid is on it, and Lucid can clear out the cuts here as well. But 2 players are going to fly. Lucid banks a nade, but gets taken down. Somehow, Eco comes out of that battle with his life, but the overshield comes out in the hands of Formal.
I think it's a team nade. Eco gets a kill on the feed with the BR. I don't think that's what it was. It might have been a team nade here. 47-46. Cloud9 still up by 1.
Bound pushes bottom middle as well onto Formal. He's making it work so hard for this kill. Formal cannot finish off Bound. Oh my word, Bound just destroyed Formal with a little bit of help from Eco, and now Cloud9 find themselves 1 kill away.
Oh my God. Still just a 2-kill game though, not over. Cloud9 needs to find the pick. If they don't, they could pay the price here. Lots of time on the clock, so no big rush here. 3 minutes to go.
What a moment in the game that was. Optic do not make use of that overshield. Formal just could not finish that kill off.
Oh boy, Eco might flank pillars here. Let's see if he goes.
Optic cannot afford to make any kind of mistake here. They need the first pick. The sniper rifle is going to be up as well, so maybe someone's managed to get their hands on that. Maybe it's going to be a bait from both teams, but Bound is the man. Who else but Bound to get the 50th kill to make a play, and Cloud9 tie things up here at 1-1.
Wow. Back-to-back incredible games of live fire slayer in your elimination final and your grand finals, down to the absolute wire. C9 though, with some huge plays. Even though we saw TriPPPeY popping off, in the end they put together some good overshield plays, and they're able to close it out with that final kill, winning 50-47.
I mean, just a few moments in that end game, right? Around that overshield, Eco somehow staying alive in the cuts, and I think, as you say, a team nade maybe came in at the most inopportune moment, and the overshield at the end, even though Optic get it, Bound just moving around the geometry and just being such a tough kill, getting the damage, using the repulsor, a little bit of help coming in. It was Cloud9's teamwork all over. Pznguin a little bit slow in that game once more, but his teammates picked up the slack. And look at StelluR, 16 kills for him. That's the kind of stat line you want from B in a big Slayer game.
A big game indeed, and stepped up when his team needed it. 50-47 is your final score. Yeah, I'm hoping we're going to be able to see that play with Lucid with the heat wave and the cuts towards the end of the game, because I do believe it was a team nade, which in a 50-47 could be all the difference maker. We'll take a look at the damage as well to see across the board exactly how things went down, and C9 certainly slaying in that category. 3 players over 4,000.
Yeah, not surprised to see TriPPPeY quite low as well. He had the sniper rifle in that mid game and was just kind of just looking for targets. Just couldn't find anyone to fire onto. So I'm not surprised there was that moment in the game, or kind of 30-40 seconds, where he wasn't doing any damage because he just couldn't find anyone to do it too. But I mean, it was such a close game. I think we were tied up at 31 at one point, and in that end run, Optic, it felt like they were coming back. They got that 3 dead that they were desperate to do, but it was just Cloud9 clutched up in those final moments. I don't know what it was. It was Bound doing some magical things that only Bound can do. APG, I felt sorry for him here, though. It's the last thing you want to see when you walk around the corner of Ovi.
Poor timing push there from Optic. It's unfortunate. Right there you see Optic, and they start to trade back tower. Here we were tied 29-29. Like we said, this one was just so close the entire way through.
Lucid getting taken down bottom middle, and TriPPPeY here. Oh, he gets 1. This is a repeat of the triple that got them back in the game. Finds 2 with that beautiful headshot.
Oh,
Bound.
my.
Well,
Wow.
Bound got destroyed as well.
Big shout out to our observers there for letting us catch that. We did not see it on the main feed, so grateful that we get to see exactly how that played out, because did it ever keep the game close? Take a look. This was 45-44.
And this is the final moments here. Lucid looking to push top middle. Bound with that sniper. I think he's got sniper. No, it's a BR that closes things out. You can see that Lucid wanted to make a play on that sniper rifle to give Optic a chance to get back into it. But now we go to Bazaar. Now, I think this is a mental test for Cloud9. We've seen them play, I think it was against Optic. Was it last week in the Pro Series or maybe the week before? And it just felt like Cloud9 didn't want to be on the map. Optic kind of just brushed them aside, and it was very, very simple for them. I think if Cloud9 really want to send this to a reset, they have to grind out a result here on CTF Bazaar. I
think they do. I think it's certainly, I agree, mental test. This game type always a little bit of a mental hurdle to get over just because it can require so much to bring those flags home. But I think a good opportunity for C9 to play off the back of that momentum of that second game, that first win of them for the series, and see if they can start to get a 2-1 lead, because maybe you start to slowly chip away at the momentum of Optic Gaming.
Yeah, I think you're happier going into a Capture the Flag Bazaar if you just won the last game in comparison to knowing this could be your last game of the tournament, right? It's a funny thing, the brain, it plays tricks on you a little bit, and it certainly can work in your favor as well. But I mean, what are your thoughts on this next game? Because Optic have been pretty strong historically on this game type. Yeah,
for me, I mean, the longer we go, especially now that you're only seeing Bazaar Flag being played, not Bazaar Slayer, Bazaar Flag becomes more and more of a coin flip based off of two things, right? Do you get the extra kill? When exactly did you get your third and fourth kills, and where are they spawning? Are you splitting them? How far have they OE'd? It's a little bit coin flippy there. So I think, honestly, the team that's simply able to put together the plays in the exact moments will be the one to take it out. Looking forward to seeing how this one plays out, though, for sure.
Yeah, want to see teams controlling that mid-map as well, and the power-up and the power weapons are coming up on the map. We've seen how influential the overshield is. A lot of the time, the overshield is the only thing you can use to break through that wall of a talented team, right? And try and really get into the base and create an opportunity for that flag run. We've also seen some pretty crazy grapple runs developing. People throwing that flag down on top of the market and then using the grapple to get the momentum right across and kind of swing it through the double doors. So expect to maybe see that if a player has that grapple on board. But for now, a massive pivotal point in this series in our grand final. Whoever wins this, if it's Optic, they're one game away from calling themselves champs. If it's C9, well, maybe they're thinking about a reset.
Could be a long night of Halo. We'll have to see how much gas C9 has in the tank. Game 3 going to be Bazaar CTF, the first time we're seeing this on stream here this evening. Starting things off with an early kill for StelluR, but lots to play for here, of course. The two titans of competitive Halo in North America. Sentinel surprisingly knocked out earlier by Space Station Gaming. The question is, of these two, who will win the final online NA Pro Series of the year?
Sorry, Bound, that is just not where you want to spawn.
Unlucky.
That is
unlucky.
Yeah, go next. That's overshield in the hands of APG, though, and it's going to be the flag in the hands of Optic. Even though StelluR got the first kill in the match, it was Optic who completely dominated the rest of the Cloud9 members on that overshield side. And already off the break here, you can see that perfect shadowing back here from APG. Form was going to say, you have the cap, I'm going forward. And Optic, in the first minute, Andy, off the first push, have a flag on the board.
Interesting decision there to send your overshield player with the flag. I guess he's thinking maybe someone could like shoot double doors, but traditionally you'd send your overshield player out into this mix earlier and then let Formal finish that run, but maybe they were thinking Formal needed to have full shield recharge anyway. In the end, doesn't matter, not important, a little bit too nuanced. 1-0 here in favor of Optic Gaming.
And now it is the test here for Cloud9. Bound will be taken down. That's 3 players immediately into the death screen again for Cloud9. It just seems one thing that's notable for me in Cloud9 is that they're not very willing to, play the tough game, play the nerdy game. And what I mean by that is like just stagger themselves in the back of their base, wait for a pick, be that defensive wall. They want to get out as quickly as possible, which sometimes works in their advantage, but against a team like Optic, I think you just have to show them a little bit more respect.
I think so, and a lot of these game types, especially when you talk about spawning in the back of the base on Bazaar or spawning in the back of the base on Catalyst, they do require a little bit of resilience and a little bit of willingness to wait for each other, to try to push out together, even if you just feel like holding forward. Easier said than done. I was expecting a back sooner. Eco, though, will clean up APG there to pick up the 1 kill on the map. Lucid quick to save the day after that in the lockers.
Yeah, got a little bit worried that Eco might have just put his pad down for a few seconds there, but he picked it up just in time to get the kill. But the overshield, like you say, is Cloud9's, and you're going to see Bound being aggressive. You always see Bound being aggressive, but when he's got that extra layer of protection, the man doesn't need to be asked twice. APG, though, will remove it. Not sure how much would have been left after that battle had commenced, but Cloud9 have 2 Optic Gaming members down. Lucid is going to pick up 1, but he's going to be no shields, and C9 have the opportunity to get in the base and cause some problems.
Yeah, we'll see what they can do here. Going to be pretty tough, though. 3 players alive here in the back of the base. The green gun hits for Eco. Noob combo's been a popular weapon of choice here today in our final Pro Series of North America. Eco forced to do a little bit of a 180 there. He'll stay alive in bar. little bit of scrappy there. Somehow gets the back whack as well on Formal, and C9 onslaught continues.
Yeah, I mean, it's not uncommon to see a little bit of a fist fight going down in the bar. We've all been there. If you've been in the UK, you've certainly been to Weatherspoons and experienced it. But for now, it's going to be Formal who's the last player alive, and he's actually coming off respawn. So Cloud9 moving that flag for the first time, but Formal as last alive or first respawner, he's managed to get the rocket somehow here.
Somehow stays alive. He's got 2 to play with as well on the pillars, which is pretty big. He knows he needs to make sure to connect on these. Finds 1. Wisely rocketing the base of the thrust area, not the top back wall. Finds 2, creates distance before rocketing, and might even get a fast return here.
Yeah, this will be an easy return. All the players will be spawning on the rocket side of the map just because of the fact that he picked up that kill on Pznguin on the thruster. So that spawn would have been blocked momentarily. The rest of C9 spawning away from where that flag's moving. And off the back of the huge play coming in from Formal, now he is just a pest for C9. The flag is still moving. Bound gets taken down as well. Formal just biding his time, waiting for that re-challenge. And now with all players in the death screen, all players respawning from Cloud9, Formal has the simple task of strolling home and putting in the second flag.
Gonna go ahead and bring that flag in. I mean, textbook play there from Formal. We were talking about bar fights earlier. I'm reminded of Bass Ruten's technique of create distance and grab a chair. That's exactly what he did with that rocket launcher. He's able to get that flag return as well. 7:44 left on the clock.
Memory unlocked.
2-0 in favor of Optic Gaming. They're looking strong here in game number 3.
They certainly are. And that is, core memory unlocked there for me. Formal is going to be on top of the rockets and looking to cause some more pain. And this time he's going to be using a battle rifle.
There we go.
It's 3 for Formal. And with that, there's going to be another flag moving here for Optic Gaming. 4 dead. Lucid puts in the 3rd, and that is going to be Cloud9 maybe mentally broken here on Bazaar.
Formal looking like a man who knows what to bring to a fight. He's 17-5. On the Cloud9 side, no one has passed 7 kills yet. Make it 18-5. Formal putting on a show and a frenzy.
A frenzy for Formal. All he needed was an inspirational bar fighting technique talk from Andy Dudinsky, and the man has stepped up. This is huge from Formal. Questions are sometimes about his performance recently in those big games, those big moments, but no doubts about who is dominating the map right now.
What on? He might do it again. Another triple? Oh my God!
Formal's doing what he wants at the moment. He's playing with his food. It's looking all too simple for him. Cloud9 just feeding the kills towards him. Lucid gonna go for the touch on the flag. Optic probably thinking about putting this one home again. 2-4 for Cloud9, but Lucid does need to be a little bit careful here. Maybe getting a little bit overzealous to putting that flag home. StelluR's going to be challenged here by TriPPPeY. Won't be a surprise to see TriPPPeY winning this one as well. Eco flying out top middle. It's another flag here for Optic. No chance for Eco to stop this one. Lucid will put in the 4th. And with 6 minutes left on the clock, we say Bazaar doesn't normally go to 5. Well, it might be a good opportunity to do it now.
My God, how quickly this got out of hand. And even though we do see Bound with an overshield pushing in, 5:49 left, 4-0 in favor of Optic. Just unbelievable slaying numbers coming in across the game. Finally, Cloud9 will start to make something happen, and it would require some fantastic Halo. But 5:38 left to play with. They could put some flags on the board.
Yeah, really important kill there on StelluR, on Lucid. He was just being a nuisance in the hut. The spike grenade just to flush him out. A couple of kills go on their side. Pznguin cleaning up the damage, and finally Cloud9 will be able to at least get 1 flag on the board here. They've got it back to their base, and that will be going in just a few moments' time. Eco's the man with it in his hands. He picks up a thrust just to add a few style points onto it, but 5 minutes left in this game. I'm telling you, it's possible. 3 flags in 5 minutes if they get some control, but Formal already starting to shut things down here.
Even with Formal 25-9, it's crazy to say that this is still possible that Cloud9 could bounce back and come back in this game, but they certainly could. They'll need to put together some of the best Bazaar CTF play they've ever done. Fantastic little green gun there. Formal still trying to make the push happen, but Cloud9 find themselves 2 dead, and Optic Gaming looking to close this game out and not even let that be part of the story.
Yeah, fantastic little green gun, one of my favorite books for the recent times. Eco also going to be one of my favorite BR to watch as he picks up a kill, and also I think you can see just putting a few shots. Yeah, just walking his way towards Formal. APG is ignoring all the nonsense and moving this flag forward once again here as 2 players have fallen for Cloud9. So APG has a chance here to move this one forward. Eco versus APG off the respawn. Eco just winning that fight pretty comfortably, takes down Lucid as well.
Yeah, I think he got a kind of thrust spawn there, I think, because APG kind of threw a courtyard, started Rocket for just a second, a little bit of a wacky time in terms of spawns that were going to come in there for Eco. So with each passing moment, Optic's pretty happy with this, and Formal's pretty confident he's probably going to end this with a 30 bomb.
Probably the only thing he can do to improve what has been a pretty impressive performance, to say the least, from Formal on Bazaar capture the flag. Bound will get 2. TriPPPeY's going to be challenging. Eco knows there's another player close, and now there's another 2 in front of him. That's the difference, right? When we're seeing Cloud9, it's 1 by 1. It's, you know, pushes a little bit uncoordinated. When we see Optic, it's always 2 BRs on 1 player.
Fantastic play from Formal there. I'm pretty sure he was sitting bottom tree and actually went back to thrust to double that angle, which is a pretty non-traditional play, but something you would only see really out of the brain of Formal. Taking a look here, 3:30 left in the game. Cloud9 still with 2 dead, trying to still make another flag run happen, but that's a huge double from Lucid in the back of the base.
Yeah, really, really good stuff from Lucid there, just being such a nuisance. Eco gets another touch on that flag, and Bound picks up a kill on APG. So work here to do for Lucid.
Oh boy.
Well, homework assignment complete. That is an A star for Lucid.
And my God, made that look way too easy. That was 4 dead for C9. The last player's alive in lockers, which means the flag goes home. And with 3 minutes left, it will still be a 3 flag lead for Optic Gaming.
APG will have a rocket to play with in the end of this game as well. So as if it's not difficult enough here, with Formal finally crossing that 30 kill mark. The man is plus 16 right now, by the way. That's just Formal. That's what I'm going to say. That's just Formal. He has games like this occasionally where it just makes it look easy. But APG with the Rockets is going to be able to lock down all of this side of the map at the moment. And with 2 minutes 30, it seems like time is now the factor for Cloud9. It really is going to be tough for them to get back into this.
His positive KD is almost the amount of kills that the players have on the other side, which is absolutely wild to say. 2:22 left, and as we said, Optic going to be very happy just to control mid-map at this point. Let the clock tick down, and continue to put on the slaves on the board.
I think it's at the moment Formal doing the latter, but the previous, sorry, but it's going to be Bound who.
I think so too.
Lucid's going to fly in. We're having fun tonight, everyone. We hope you are as well. The overshield goes down, but it's going to be TriPPPeY. He should be in a position to at least do some damage to keep Cloud9 off of it for a few moments. Pznguin gets it in his hands. Now, I tell you what, Andy. I'm not Dan Gaskian, and I don't welch on my bets, right? But if Cloud9 managed to tie this up in 1 minute 40, right? Then I will shave my head, my friend, okay?
That's not a good bet.
That's not a good bet. No, I've got nothing. Actually, I can't even shave my head. You know what I mean? It's just, it doesn't grow.
It's true. It's true. 34 kills for Formal here as they look for really what has felt like a victory lap, if we're honest, for the past 3 minutes after unbelievable slaying and multi-kills at the mid-game have put huge amount of flags for them on the board, and now with a minute 14, it's essentially impossible for Cloud9 to bounce back, and they're just adding a few more kills to the board.
Yeah, you just got to worry how much this is going to hurt Cloud9 heading into the next game as well, right? It's such a long road for Cloud9 in this final. If they want to win and call themselves the champs, have not only got to extend this series to a game 5, they've also got to win another one after that against Optic. And with the way that Optic are just pressurizing in them the moment, with the way that Formal is shooting 34 and 18, by the way, I just kind of see this Bazaar capture the flag being maybe the straw that breaks the Cloud9 back, so to speak.
Oh, and StelluR has decided to no longer participate in the tree there. He will fall. That will bring Formal's kill count to double now. 36 and 18 in this game. That flag's being ran home, and that really will be the final victory lap here for Lucid.
It certainly will, and Pznguin and TriPPPeY are they're kissing in the back of the base there. Unconfirmed reports, but it's what it looked like to the player outlines. It will be 5-0. Optic Gaming got 2-1 in your grand final.
Man, Optic Gaming looking so strong here, and what a convincing performance in that game number 3 Bazaar. We wondered how strong they would look. They came to play, and to be honest, it was, like you said, a demoralizing performance for the side of C9. When you see Optic cap 4 times mid-map off of enormous plays from Formal, it's hard to bounce back on that game time.
Well, let's see if they can do it, though, as we move forward. Bazaar capture the flag is now just a nightmare that they've woken up from, hopefully, Cloud9, and there will be kind of locked in as we head to Li-Fi King of the Hill. I think it is our game number 4, an opportunity for them to maybe express themselves a little bit more than they were able to do on Capture the Flag. There's only one stat to really look at here. I mean, they're all pretty good from Optic, but I mean, 36 and 18, 11 assists, 21.7 KDA. It's a formal show, Andy. It's a formal show.
The man is built different, and that is quite a performance. As you say, there's not much else to talk about. Multiple triple kills for him as well throughout that game, and did it from the mid-map. Let's take a look at the damage. I think there's one line of damage we're going to be looking at as well, and one of these is not like the others. Nobody else even on 7K. Formal is 8K plus.
Yeah, and shout out to the, unfortunately no longer with us, Richie Benno, legendary cricket commentator for the Chew 22 at the end of it. I mean, 8,222. That is some pretty ridiculous statistics coming in from Formal, and a good performance that I think Optic probably as a lineup we're hoping for in these big grand finals, and certainly him will be hoping for as well to see more of to close things out.
Certainly, we've done a lot of talking about Formal stats and performance. Here was the creating distance and grabbing a chair as he's going to get that and getting that flag return as well. But we've talked a lot about his numbers, and rightly so. Amazing performances on screen as well, but got to give a shout out to the entire Optic team. Without what they do around the map, there's no way that a player like Formal can put up those stats single-handedly. So really a team effort here from Optic. They look so strong in game number 3.
They certainly do. Now, Cloud9, what have you got? Are you going to be able to kind of brush that one off, and are you going to be able to come back into this game with a bit of fire to prove that, you know, you want to send this to a second best of 5, that you don't want to give Optic the glory of going back-to-back here in Pro Series and calling themselves champs? We'll find out in the next few moments. I feel like the first hill, vital here for Cloud9. If they can start to get a little bit of control, start to dominate, start to hit some snipe headshots, then C9 can be back here.
Yeah, like we said, pressure is on for C9, and I think if Optic wins both of these back-to-back, it changes the narrative of the season. I think heading into the NA Super, Sentinels also has their sights set on them a little bit differently, but if Cloud9 can bounce back, maybe start to erase all the progress that Optic has had this summer. We'll have to see if that's the case. This is do or die for Cloud9.
StelluR versus Formal. No surprise to see Formal win his first 1v1 in the game after his performance in the last, but it's going to be weapons turned over here as the overshield will be popping.
Great covering fire, and easy grab there for Optic. You expected a little bit more resistance from the side of Cloud9, but Formal's going to just walk right in.
Off the back of it, he's going to pick up 2 kills as well. Where is Lucid, though? He's the last player alive here for Optic Gaming, and he's trying to challenge inside of that hill. He knows there's a player just being a nuisance around the back of green. If Cloud9 can deal with him quickly, there might be an opportunity for them to stay up here. 2 still dead for Optic. C9 in and around the hill, but Formal going to be here in a 1v1 with Eco. Eco, you got to get the kill, at least the trade, and he will do so.
Yeah, good trade for Formal. We'll have to see if the damage is enough, though. It's a tough push out of bottom pillars if you're trying to push on this hill, and once again, C9 already setting up here. Well, only 1 dead for each side and not able to put that many points on the board. So little moments like that where Formal's able to just poke and create some chaos prevent Cloud9 from getting any sort of setup.
Pznguin with the trade, and it'll be 2 for 2 across the board. Unfortunately, Bound finds himself first up, and Lucid's going to be sat in the hill with the sniper rifle. Such a good position to be in with this sniper. You don't have to do anything crazy, just hit a couple of bodies, and all you're going to do is rack up time for your squad. Optic are the team who have been in control of this first hill for the majority of the time. You see 2/3 of the way to calling it their own and putting that point on the board.
TriPPPeY now, same exact position that we saw earlier, and Optic's forced to continue to fight out of bottom pillars, but so far it has paid off for them. They've been able to put points on the board while maintaining this angle, so Heatwave and BR here still going to fight from bottom mid.
Bound should deal with him, though. You can see there's a little bit of a scrap going down inside of the hill. Lucid gets taken down, but will manage to somehow just, before he goes to the grave, drop a frag grenade, which is going to deal the final player from Cloud9. This has been so scrappy at the moment, but maybe the scrappiness is about to end, because here comes Formal charging forward with an overshield in his hand.
Wow, interesting play from Eco. Take a look at that. Eco stays alive, sandbags, nades the player out of green, then he gets to green to get an angle on the overshield instead of playing for the overshield. Really interesting and effective plays from Eco there.
Yeah, I mean, the last time I saw something get destroyed as quickly as that overshield was when I was given a gift token to a donut shop, because I've got to be honest with you, I felt pretty sick afterwards, but you know, things got out of hand. But it's going to be Optic Gaming who still are trying to force their way to take this first hill. C9 trying to do what they can, but TriPPPeY ain't missing right now. 2 battles that we've seen him in the last few moments, and he's forward both the players in front of him.
Yeah, that was 3 dead once again. StelluR was the only player alive momentarily. That one should be the first hill going to Optic off of that damage. Yes, they will be the first to score on the first hill. And I was actually going to say, Onset, I've seen you eat an abnormally large donut. I want to say it was absolutely enormous. It was yeah. Oh, way bigger than your head. Yeah, and you got a big head.
And I got a big head. Let's see what Lucid can do. Let's see if he can find some regular size heads, Spartan size heads with his sniper rifle. There's going to be a body and there's a killing spree for him. Starting to find a little bit of momentum as well. TriPPPeY's been the standout though so far in this game. He's sat on 10 kills, the only player to break double digits so far. But Optic sat inside of this hill and Cloud9 not able to get anywhere near it so far. Looks like Pznguin's trying to break a little bit of a hold that Optic do have. Eco's trying to challenge as well on the nest, but there's the cleanup. Look at the teamwork coming in from Optic. 2 full here for Cloud9, and this might be another hill going to Optic.
Man, Lucid just weaving those angles. I'm going to have to go back and listen to the comms during that play because he just dips, dives, and dodges in between those angles, consistently watching Nest the whole time while avoiding those grenades. And just like that, they go up 2-0, only 2 hills away from closing out the tournament.
Yeah, not only the kills going their way now, but the hill moving and the overshield coming up. So Lucid's going to be flying in. Look at the confidence this man is playing with right now. Flying in with a sniper rifle, looking for no scopes. TriPPPeY gets the overshield, and TriPPPeY is going to be on cleanup duty here. He doesn't get that beat down there, which might be a little bit frustrating for him, knowing that he should probably have a few more shields than he does. But his teammates have done enough work for Optic to be sat inside that hill once more.
And they clear out Eco there on concrete as well. They're going to continue scoring, especially if they get this kill. C9's on a bad spawn cycle right now. They're just trying to fly in the back of the base. 3 dead again. StelluR's the last player alive, and this looks like it's going to be another Optic point.
TriPPPeY's just locking down bottom middle as well. You can see anyone that comes through this cave is just going to be blind, as simple as that. But it looks like the push is coming in on the right side. Bound picks up 1 at least to take Formal out of the game. Lucid will trade that out, and now you can see that TriPPPeY working with his teammate inside of the hill, but they've got nothing to do because Lucid's just going a little bit crazy top middle.
My God, look at the numbers already. TriPPPeY is 17-7, make it 18.
Challenge him. Challenge him. He's confident.
He's doing it.
You love to see it from TriPPPeY. Really is just trying to put the pain onto Cloud9 right now, and Cloud9 is really feeling it. You can just see the pushes are looking one by one, a little bit stagnant, but Formal, he's on the flank right now, and this is a smart play from Formal, trying to get back tower, trying to lock down those spawns for his team.
It is 2 dead once again here for Optic, as Formal's going to try to go ahead and see. Now, I don't really need to do the fast jump here. He's going to just take the long way over to the hill, but you have to remember, Cloud9's such a talented team. Do they have the gas in the tank? They have the skill. They could bring this game all the way back, but it's a question now as we take a look at the clock, almost midnight East Coast here. Do they have what it takes to bring this game back and bring the series back?
Yeah, almost 12 a.m. here in there, 12 p.m. sorry, in the UK at this point. But I tell you what, if this goes to a second best of 5, I'm still got the energy to go, because this has been such a fun day of Halo to watch so far in the North American Pro Series. But Pznguin is gonna
doesn't get it,
doesn't get it. Bound is gonna at least keep him alive for now, and Cloud9 will get the hill. So even though they don't get the overshield straight away, they will get the hill. Formal now moving in with the sniper rifle. Overshield still down. They need to communicate this. Lucid is gonna be there. There's a triple for Lucid, and that might be the dagger into the hearts of Cloud9.
And of course he hits it with the back of the headshot there with the BR. That overshield is still down, and you have to think Pznguin, a little bit of a misplay there with just seconds off of grabbing that. Instead, he accidentally repulses, and they don't convert on that overshield. Of course, they will still convert on the point, so it will be 3-1. Not over yet, but 3 minutes left in the game.
Well, the good thing here for Optic as well is that they're not relying on Formal this game. Is TriPPPeY has actually been the standout. He's 20-11. But off the back of this, C9 have got the overshield. Maybe that 1 hill is all they needed for that belief. But a 3-man push coming in from Optic Gaming, swarming top mid. StelluR last alive. What a push that was from Optic.
We talk about inopportune timing all day. The second that Pznguin happened to look away from sandbags, he finds himself on the receiving end of 3 BRs that absolutely nuke his overshield. Unfortunate there for the side of C9, and now Optic about 75% of the way done on the 4th hill.
Yeah, and this would be the last hill as well, that all they need to do is capture this hill and they can call themselves champs. Bound is going to be trying to pressurize. He's forced off by TriPPPeY. Turns around to help out his teammate. He doesn't need it. 2-4 here for Cloud9. Pznguin on an island at the moment, floating in the sea. TriPPPeY trying to find him, but Pznguin will be finally taken down. StelluR getting desperate. This is Optic's game. This will be Optic's win once more. Optic go back to back. They are your champs here. Cloud9 just couldn't put up the fight.
And what a performance from Optic to not just do it for the first time last week against against Cloud9 for the first time in competitive play, but now back-to-back beating Cloud9 yet again in official competitive play in a grand final. And like we said, it changes the course of the story for Optic Gaming just a little bit as they take this momentum into the rest of the events for the year.
Yeah, mental tick box that was there before this Pro Series kicked off has started to be filled up very, very quickly. TriPPPeY though, TriPPPeY, 23 and 12. A great performance from him in that final game. 4-1. Cloud9 started to show some signs of life just towards the end of it, but it was the 3-man push on Sandbags that will be the standout play for me in that game. Just Optic deciding to make a play, the call was made, and executing off the back of it.
Yeah, absolutely. You might have seen a little bit of words from Pznguin there in the in-game chat before he resigned from the game. Not afraid to put a few words across before he exited. Taking a look at the damage, 5,200 there from TriPPPeY in the end.
I missed it. What did he say? Text me, don't worry. I don't know if it's a broadcast appropriate, but you know.
Oh, it is broadcast. It's broadcast appropriate. I think people who caught it. People might be clipping it now as well. But yeah.
Someone tweeted
but
keep in
mind, it's all just banter. I'm not looking to start stuff. Just taking note of what we're seeing on screen here. That's our job. We won't read it in too much to it. But in the end, here's your series layout for Optic Gaming.